Hi, in this video, let's look at your Form 4 Ag Math textbook, Cell Practice 1.3, page 10. Now, let's look at question number 1. Function g is defined by g of x is equal to this. Let me copy down first. G of x is equal to 3 plus 6 over x minus 1. And x is not equal to 1. Because when x is equal to 1, here will become 0. 1 minus 1 will give you 0. So the whole function will become undefined. So the question asks you to find the images of -5, -2, and 1 over 2. This means that all the given value here, they are actually object. They are object. So we want to find the image for this few object. So in this part, I will just show you 1 over 2. So you can think this way. Now you have a machine, we call it g of x or machine g. This is input. We put something inside the machine, input. So this will be the object. And this machine will process it and create an output. This is the image. Now, what we are going to do now is we put in 1 over 2. We want to find what is the output, what is the image of 1 over 2. So how do we get the image? It's actually very simple. When x is equal to 1 over 2, I'm going to change all the x here become 1 over 2. G of 1 over 2. When x is equal to 1 over 2, that's why I change this become 1 over 2. This, I have to change it to 1 over 2 also. Okay. So this one you can just press your calculator. 1 over 2 minus 1 is -1 over 2. Okay, so positive, negative is become negative. If you don't want to do it this way, it's okay. You just press your calculator. 6 divided by -1 over 2, you will get -12. Plus positive, negative, you get negative, right? Okay, eventually we got the answer. The image of 1 over 2 is actually equal to -9. Now let's go to the second part. Given the image of b is 2b, what does this mean? It means that when you put in b, you get 2b. Okay, so the b here is object and the 2b is image. Okay, so g of x is equal to this whole thing. Let me copy first. 3 plus 6 over x minus 1. So given by the question, the image of b is 2b. So it means that g of b is equal to 2b. This whole thing, when you plug in b inside, you calculate, you will get 2b. So 2b is the image and b is the object. So when x is equal to b, this we need to change it become b, right? So it will become 3 plus 6 over b minus 1. Okay, equal to 2b. Now, what do we need to do next is just to combine these two fractions together and find the value of b. Okay, there are a few ways we can solve it. Some students like to move the 3 over here, minus both sides by 3. If you don't want, you can just combine the two fractions together first. So now, the denominator for 3 is actually equal to 1. For fraction, plus and minus, the denominator must be the same first, right? Then only we can combine them together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to times this by b minus 1 and do the same thing for the numerator. So 3 times b minus 1. Okay, so 1 times b minus 1, you get b minus 1. Now the denominator already become the same, so we can combine them together. 3b minus 3 plus 6 is equal over b minus 1 is equal to 2b. Now, so 3b minus 3 plus 6 is equal to 3b plus 3. And the b minus 1 I'm going to bring up here. Both sides I multiply by b minus 1. Okay, do some expansion over here. So this will give us 2b squared, and this will give us negative 2b. Now, so this is a quadratic equation, right? We arrange this quadratic equation in general form first, then only we start to do the factorization and continue solving it. So bring all the things go over here. 0 is equal to 2b squared minus 2b minus 3b minus 3. Okay, so 2b squared minus 5b minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so let me change their positions. Write a 2b squared minus 5b minus 3 on the left hand side and the 0 on the right hand side. Okay, now we can start to do the factorization here. If the number is too big, you can actually use your calculator to help you to do the factorization. So this number is not very big, so we should be able to do it without using a calculator. So this is 3 and this is 1 minus plus. Okay, let me double check. Okay, so correct. 2b plus 1 is equal to 0, or b minus 3 is equal to 0. So 2b is equal to negative 1, b is equal to negative 1 over 2. How about here? B is equal to 3. Okay, so the answer will be b is equal to negative 1 over 2, or b is equal to 3. Now let's go to question number 2. So for this question, I will just show you part C. H of x is equal to kx minus 3 x minus 1. Same thing, x cannot be equal to 1 because when x is equal to 1, the denominator of this fraction will become 0, which this will become undefined. Okay, h of k is equal to k given by the quotients. When the x is k, this we need to change it become k2, right? If this is 2, here will be 2, 2. If this is 3, here will be 3, 3, right? If here is k, here will be k, here will be k as well. And this k we just copy, this k we just copy. And this I'm going to replace it by k because now this is k, right? The rest copy. Same thing here, this is x. When the x is equal to k, this I'm going to change become k as well. Okay, now, so this is k squared minus 3. Okay, just this one, k minus 1, I bring it up. Both sides I multiply by k minus 1. Okay, so I will get this one. Do some expansion over here. K squared minus 3 is equal to k squared minus k. So both sides you have k squared, right? You can actually cancel this k squared because when you bring the k squared over here, it will actually cancel out each other. So now we left negative 3 is equal to negative k, so k will be equal to 3. Okay, this is our answer for k. Now let's go to question number 3. So before I show you how to solve, so for this one I think it should be no problem. I will only show you the value of x, b, c, and d. Okay, so before I show you how to solve this 3 part, you need to remember this. Let's say modulus x, given that modulus x is less than a, for example, then a will be greater than negative a, sorry, not a, x will be greater than negative a, less than a. This one you need to remember. If modulus x is greater than a, then x is less than negative a, or x is greater than a. Okay, let me give you some number to explain to you so easier for you to understand. Now, if modulus x is less than 3, for example, So in order to make it easier to understand, I will just focus on integer. So try to think according to these rules, right? So we know that x must be greater than -3 but less than 3. Is this correct? Okay, now we just consider about the integer between -3 and 3. So it will be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, right? So when you plug in -2 over here, modulus -2, you will get 2, which is less than 3, correct? When you put -1 inside here, modulus -1, you will get 1, which is less than 3, correct? All these are correct. Okay, now same thing. So how about when we have this? Then it will become x is less than -3 or x is greater than 3. Try to think. If x is less than -3, it can be -4, -5, -6, -7, and so on, right? When you plug in all this value into here, modulus -4, you will get 4, which is greater than 3, correct? When you plug in -5 over here, modulus -5, you will get 5, which is greater than 3, correct? So same thing here. It can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. All this value you plug in here, you will get greater than 3 as well. Okay, so you need to remember these two. Now let's look at part B. f of x is equal to modulus 4x minus 3. We want to find the value of x such that f of x is equal to 1. F of x is equal to 1, it means that this thing is equal to 1, right? Modulus 4x minus 3 is equal to 1. So 4x minus 3, it can be equal to 1 or it can be equal to -1. Now I'm going to break it become two parts. 4x minus 3 is equal to 1 because modulus 1, you get 1. Or maybe this 4x minus 3 is equal to -1 because modulus -1, you also get 1 as well. Therefore, we have two possible answers for x. So 4x minus 3 is equal to -1. Now we have two answers here, two value for x, which will give us 1 as well. Now 4x minus 3 is equal to 1. So 4x is equal to 1 plus 3. So 4x is equal to 4. And x is equal to 4 divided by 4, which is equal to 1. So you can try press your calculator, plug in 1 here, you should be able to get 1. Now how about when 4x minus 3 is equal to -1? So 4x will be equal to -1 plus 3. So 4x is equal to 2. And x is equal to 2 over 4. X is equal to 1 over 2. Now if you want to check, you can use your calculator to help you check the answer. Okay, now let's check using our calculator. So if you want to key in the modular sign, you can key in this way. If you don't want, let's say for example, let's check 1 over 2. One of our answer is 1 over 2, right? So 4 times 1 over 2, and then minus 3 is equal to -1. But it's actually correct because modulus -1 is equal to 1. So if you want to key in the modulus sign, you can just press this one, absolute value. You have to press shift. Okay, after you're pressing shift, you will see a small s appear here. Okay, just key in 4 times 1 over 2 and then minus 3. You will be able to get 1. Okay, our answer correct. So how about 1? Let's check. Change the value of x, become 1. Correct also. So these are the values of x. So how about C? Okay, now let's look at C, part C. The domain means that the range of x. So f of x is less than 1. So you need to remember this too. So f of x is is less than 1. F of x is this, modulus for x minus 3 is less than 1. According to these rules which I showed just now, so it will be 4x minus 3 is greater than negative 1 but less than 1. Okay, then it will just go back to your form 1, right? So remember you learned this in form 1, linear inequality. So I'm going to break this become two parts. Negative 1 is less than 4x minus 3, and 4x minus 3 is less than 1. So this one I can change become 4x minus 3 is greater than negative 1. Okay, now try to solve this inequality for this part. 4x is greater than negative 1 plus 3. 4x is greater than 2. X is greater than 2 over 4. X is greater than 1 over 2. Okay, so we can, this is not our final answer yet. We have to solve this part also. So 4x is less than 1 plus 3. So 4x is less than 4. X is less than 4 over 4, which is x is less than 1. So now our final answer will be x is greater than, we need to combine these two together. X is greater than 1 over 2, less than 1. This is our final answer for part C. Now let's go to part D. The domain same thing, but this time become greater than 5. Just now less than, right? We use this one. Now greater than, we are going to use this one. F of x is greater than 5. F of x is equal to this. Modulus 4x minus 3 is greater than 5. Then according to these rules, then it will be 4x minus 3 is less than negative 5, or 4x minus 3 is greater than 5. Okay, so 4x is less than negative 5 plus 3. 4x is less than negative 2, and x is less than negative 2 over 4. Oh. So x is less than negative 1 over 2. How about here? 4x is greater than 5 plus 3. 4x is greater than 8, and x is greater than 8 divided by 4, which is equal to 2. Okay, now be careful here. Our final answer will be x is less than negative 1 over 2, or x is greater than 2. This will be our final answer. You cannot combine them together in this situation. So some students might write this one, which is actually not correct. X is less than 1 over 2 and greater than 2. This is actually not correct, because if x is greater than 2, it will not be less than negative 1 over 2, right? If x is less than negative 1 over 2, it cannot be greater than 2. This is actually not correct. So for this question, this will be our final answer. You cannot combine them together. Okay? Okay, now let's go to the last question that I'm going to discuss with you in this video. Question number 5. F of x given by the question is equal to mx plus c. And for the first part, we want to find m, the value of m, and the value of c. Given by the question, f of 2 is equal to 7. F of 4 is equal to negative 1. So from here, we actually can form two linear equations. When x is equal to 2, f of 2. So I'm going to replace the x become 2. M times 2 plus c is equal to 7. When this is 2, this will be 2 as well, right? So it will become 2m plus c is equal to 7. Now we have successfully formed the first equation. We are going to use this information to help us to form second equation. So when x is equal to 4, here will be equal to 4 also, right? So m times 4 plus c is equal to negative 1. So it will be 4m plus c is equal to negative 1. Now we have successfully formed the second equation. So after this, you should be able to solve it simultaneously to get the value of M and C because you learned this in Form 1. I hope that you still remember. You can use elimination method or substitution method, totally up to you, as long as you use a method which you are more familiar to it. So maybe you can just use your calculator first to check what is the answer. Press menu and go search for equation, simultaneous equation, and then how many unknown do we have? Here 2 unknown. Okay, so you have a template over here. What you need to do, just key in all the coefficient and the constant here into your calculator. Then your calculator will help you to solve it. So when you don't see anything, it means 1. So this is -1. It's 2, 1, and 7. Okay, x is equal to -4 and y is equal to 15. Let me copy down the answer first. X is equal to -4, y is equal to 15. Oh, sorry, here is not y and not x either, because this one is M and this is C. Okay, so now I'm going to use elimination method. I'm going to eliminate the C first. So I just take second equation minus the first equation. 4m minus 2m, I will get 2m. Positive c minus positive c, you will get 0c. We have successfully eliminated the variable c. So -1 minus 7, you will get -8. So m is equal to -8 divided by 2. M is equal to -4. Once you get the answer, check with the answer that you got from your calculator. If this is different from the answer given by your calculator, you need to redo it. Okay, so m is equal to -4. The next part, you should be able to continue yourself. Substitute the value of m, -4, into any equation, 1 or 2, to get the value of c. So you should be able to get c is equal to 15. So this is, let me write down. M is -4 and c is 15. Okay, now how about B, the image of 2? This means that this is object. When x is equal to 2, what is the value of the image? What's the value of the image? It means that when you plug in 2 over here and 2 over here, you calculate what value will you get. So this one, you try on your own, you should be able to get the answer. Now, let's go to C. The value of x that is unchanged under the mapping of f. What does this mean? It means that now you have a machine here. Imagine the function f is actually a machine. And you put in something which we call x. And the output remain unchanged. You will get back x. This is actually what means by this quotient. It means f of x is equal to x. Okay, now f of x is equal to -4x plus 15. -4x plus 15 equal to x. What you need to do, just solve this linear equation, get the value of x. X plus 4x. So 5x is equal to 15 and x is equal to 15 divided by 5, which is equal to 3. So this is our answer for part C. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.